Hi, we're here to present our office product. Over the past year, with many people confined indoors, we've had some very interesting creative home setups. First, take note of the image on the right. We can see a makeshift table with no room for equipment. Moving on, we can see that the table on the table on the left utilizes an ironing board. Now, as resourceful as that is, I can't imagine that being awfully practical. Similarly, on the right, we see a very treacherous setup, with a laptop balanced on a stack of books precariously. These are weird and wacky, and there is something shared in common between all of these, and that is that these setups are trying to create a comfortable and productive office space. While these setups are fun to look at, they're all time bombs. Imagine having to sit in these positions for hours. Now imagine having to sit in these positions for weeks. Looks painful, right? The reality is that people do work like this. They do work from uncomfortable positions for hours at end, and they do this every day for weeks on end. And what's worse is, with limited physical activity, people are now going to stretch out their body even less, compounding these effects. And while these problems can start off small as a small twinge, they can later evolve into many major problems, such as blood clots and heart disease. There are many treatments for these problems, many effective, most not, and it's generally agreed that prevention is better than treatment. Our team of mechatronic engineers have come up with some preventative devices that will avoid injuries associated with seated office work. Now on to Adelina.
Every step of our design process was made with our customers and stakeholders' needs and preferences in mind. Our target customers are office workers who will use the product directly. We're defining the office space to consist of a computer or laptop on a desk, with the customer working on their computer for extended periods of time during the week. So, for us, office workers include people such as employees who work in a traditional or home office, students, and gamers. Our relevant stakeholders are the people or organizations who don't use the product directly, but still had some influence on its design. Thus, these include people who are affected by office workers with decreased back discomfort, such as family, employers, healthcare professionals, and competitors. And now moving on to Zane.
To facilitate obtaining customer voices, we formulated and posed a survey to near 100 individuals. As a wise man once said, we surveyed 100 people and the top 8 answers are on the board. Let's see the responses. Please feel free to play along. When asked to identify the particular health issues they face within their office environment, the results clearly identified 5 dominant pain areas. Can you guess what they were? Starting with number 1, we have eye strain, with 22% of respondents stating that they suffered this issue. Following on from that, neck strain with 21%, fatigue with 19%, anxiety with 13%, and back pain with 12%. These are our 5 dominant issues. We also had insomnia, carpal tunnel, and depression mentioned, but these we found were minor issues, so we chose to focus on those 5 mentioned prior. Through the other closed response survey questions, we created a clearly defined target demographic. From this, the effect of coronavirus was clear. Approximately 56% of respondents stated that they work from home. This presented us with a unique opportunity, finding a product which could be used in both the workplace and the home. In addition to this, for workday length, the majority of respondents recorded 6+ hours of work. Studies have shown that this can directly cause injuries if no preventative measures are taken.
From this survey, and also market research into existing office products, we developed a list of customer needs which are shown here. These include efficiency, durability, sustainability, safety, and many more. And now on to Stephanie.
Thank you. In order for a solution to be successful, it must be able to cater to both the functional requirements as well as the design constraints. Functional requirements are critical in the development of a project as it helps define the project's scope, while ensuring the problem solved is addressed holistically by creating a framework in how to meet the specified pain points. This still leaves an area for creativity and innovation as the requirements define what the function is, but not how they're executed. From what we've gathered in our customer and market research, it is really easy to analyze those needs and transform them into the set requirements. As shown in the hierarchical diagram, the first level of functional requirements were broken up into 3 main areas. These include usability, back tension prevention, and back tension alleviation. These were then further broken down using research in order to describe how these areas were logistically catered to. One example includes stabilizing the back posture. This was then further broken down into sub-requirements to ensure that this was catered to directly. Using the house equality chart, the relationship of the requirements and customer needs were also made apparent. However, this shows that 2 customer needs were not addressed. However, as these customer needs, sustainability and aesthetics have no effect on the product functionalities, they were therefore addressed in the design constraints and will be discussed by Shaquille.
While conducting research into the product's design, we developed a set of key design constraints. The first one being that the product would have to be integratable into any work environment. This would include office spaces, schools, and even home environments should people choose to work from home. The device would also need to be robust so that people can use it for a long period of time. Therefore, it would need to contain features such as being waterproof to prevent any damages from spills, shockproof so that it can withstand fall damage, heat resistant so that people can use it in outdoor environments, as well as being able to withstand heavy weights so that it can be used by people of all sizes. The product would also need to be easy to use. Therefore, we provide a simple to use interface so that people could easily adjust settings to make it closer to their personal preferences, and it can also be easily switched on and off. The product would also need to be cost effective so that we can encourage companies to utilize it in their work environments. Therefore, we want to put a cap into the budget of $300. I will now pass it on to Tanvi to explain the design concept.
Thanks, Shaquille. With our requirements and design constraints defined, together our team brainstormed over 50 different ideas and implementations that we could have pursued, including some really novel ideas like IoT-based monitor stands and AI-driven smart desks. But we were able to narrow our ideas down into concepts that we wanted to explore and develop further. The first concept was an articulating smart office chair. This chair would be embedded with sensors and articulating supports within the back and the seat that can adjust the shape and positioning of the chair in order to individually suit each person that sits in it. There are 2 sets of articulating stepper motors in the neck support, 3 in the back and 3 in the seat to provide a fully customizable ergonomic setup. This design is based on premium office chairs and includes adjustable armrests, a gas lift seat, and an adjustable neck support system. It would be paired with a mobile app that you can use to track your daily habits, as well as receive notifications and reminders to ensure that your posture can maintain an ergonomic position while you're working. The second concept that we came up with followed very similarly, being a chair that replaced the normal cushioning or memory foam of traditional office chairs with a viscous gel. The gel provides the same effect of molding to your body shape, allowing for the user's body to be comfortable and ergonomically positioned. But through the gel, we can provide active heating and cooling that is easily conducted into the user, allowing us to aid in relief of muscle pain and fatigue. The heating uses strips of conductive resistors that can control the temperature through a current regulator. The gel assists in evenly spreading the heat out throughout the chair, so that we don't need to have as many heating strips across the back, improving efficiency and reducing costs. The cooling uses passively flowing gel that wicks away heat to a thermally insulated external surface. It also features a porous foam seat cushion, with a low-powered fan underneath to provide air circulation and cooling. These would all be controlled through an attached thermostat and thermal sensors. Our final concept considered all the benefits of our previous ideas, but aimed to fit it in as convenient and simple form factor as we could. We came up with an attachable seat and backrest that combines the pressure sensors and motorized supports with the temperature gel seat. The device attaches to the back onto the back of existing seats through adjustable straps, allowing our solution to be easily integrated into the office environment, reducing costs from producing a whole chair to just the back of the seat. It also means that we have less space to work with fewer and smaller active components, relying more on passive solutions. We believe that this design is the most feasible concept, fitting all of our design constraints and fulfilling all of our requirements. I'll hand it off to Kyra now.
Thanks, Tanvi. For our product, we turned to nature to inspire the design. Firstly, we looked at the natural curvature of the human spine. It was clear from our research that one of the major roots of back pain and neck pain was any unnatural curvature. Slouching over your computer, craning your neck, these actions cause increased loads on your natural support structure. From this, we knew that our product needed to ensure that the back would be kept as close as possible to its natural, neutral curvature. Our product does this. By maintaining this posture, our product reduces the likelihood of back pain whilst in a seated position. To handle heating and cooling in the chair, we looked at elephant ears. We wanted to deal with the discomfort users would experience whilst sitting in the seat for extended periods of time. In nature, elephants flap their ears to cool themselves down. Their thin skin allows air to permeate. For our chair, we wanted to use the same principle. Through a blend of liquid cooling and sophisticated fluid flow mechanisms, our chair has the ability to cool you down and warm you up. Now, spiders, centipedes, and millipedes probably aren't the first things that come to mind when you think of comfort, but they are. With a centipede and millipede themed hinge, the product could tilt and curve to the shape of the back. The segmented panels on the back would provide a range of comfort for the user while still keeping the chair in a locked position. With the way the spider moves its legs, we could adjust the angle between the hinge and the seating and back cushion. By using hydraulics, the segments of the seating cushion could adjust and lock in place. Basically, you can customize your seat angle to fit you. And here's Ramon to finish it all off.
You've seen the concepts. Now let's see how we'll give life to these products over the coming weeks. Here we have an outline of the product schedule in the form of a Gantt chart. The team has resolved our major tasks into smaller sub-components, each of which has been allocated a time period for completion. We've allowed for a small task-specific buffer to account for unforeseen adversity and incorporated a progression component for each task as to dynamically track completion. As can be seen, progression has steadily followed the Gantt chart, and I can confidently say that this will continue to be the case in the following weeks. The concepts proposed are in the infancy right now, but with our time and your investment, they can come to form. Concepts act in parallel to modern trends and user consumer needs, having all the trademarks of success. This is an opportunity you do not want to miss out on, because these products will take the world by storm. We will now be taking questions.